Hello everyone, welcome to Sports Khabri. Curious Harry, Iron Foot, Indian football. Shan's not here, but important day for Indian football. I thought Al Hilal against Mumbai City. Mumbai City saw off the Al Hilal threat in the first half, but unfortunately, a sending off was, I think, the story of the second half, and then the goals came, which were expected from Al Hilal in the second half. Michael and then Mitrovic late on. So 2-0 to Al Hilal in the end. Arnava, your first thoughts? Because did Mumbai City FC play better than what you expected?
Um, no, I wouldn't say that they played better than what I expected. I think Des changed his strategy a little. He went to a five-man
Mhm.
backline. So he learned his lesson from the 6-0 loss in Saudi Arabia, and they were looking to try and play on the counter. Um, and on that side, I would say, um, you know, they did well. And again, I thought the second card was soft. Even the first one, because the first one, when he went into that fight with Mitrovic, it went out from Mitrovic. And I was actually and Mitrovic is that kind of a character, right? You've seen that those
Exactly.
who watch Premier League, he is that kind of a character. And I thought in that moment, good Mehtab, you stood up. But the referee, again, yeah, let's not get into that because I think everyone needs to realize that this referee topic is going on around the world. It's not an ISL Indian football thing itself. Um, and in the second instance, the replay that I saw, I thought he touched the ball and then hit Ruben Neves. So I don't even know if the second was a yellow card. So both. I don't know. And later on, Bipin gets another one, which was another weak one. So I don't know if we can talk about the refereeing, but I will not because again, at the end of the day, Al Hilal was the better side, had the better opportunities, but Mumbai City had those 2, 3, 4 sort of counter-attacking moves. Um,
Yeah.
Especially Pereira Diaz when he gets through and he's actually beaten Koulibaly. And he, again, in the ISL, you've got that opportunity to take another 2 steps and then take the shot. Koulibaly is a world-class defender. You have to take your shot. You have to gamble. And that's why Koulibaly was able to clear. Also, Changte in that 1-2 moments where he actually beat the defender and should have gone and played the ball with a little bit more conviction into the middle. And I thought that was sort of the thing, which was a little that attacking conviction was missing. And again, Purba Lechempa, I think, was the best player for Mumbai City today. Some brilliant saves, and yeah, good game. 2-0, I think, is a good result because if you look at the chances, Al Hilal maybe could have scored 4, 5, or 6. Mitrovic had an off day, actually. And in that way, lovely atmosphere. It's been mentioned 30,000, 23 attending the Vapes, mentioning that figure. And I said that pre-match, pre this live show to you guys as well. Not many teams, club teams in India in a continental competition will get 30,000 people to turn up on a Monday in Navi Mumbai. So therefore, yeah, lessons learned. But I think the biggest concern for Mumbai City this season will be in the Champions League will be that they're unable to score goals, and
Yeah.
that's why I think okay, that was fine.
Arnava, I think we spoke about Mehtab, and I just have something to say about that. I agree with what you just said, Arnava, and what Priyam is saying. Mitrovic was frustrated because he didn't get the space he wanted. He wasn't able to get shots away. And having seen Mitrovic for so many years in the Premier League, you know the sort of guy he is. If he's not getting anything in the game, he's going to try to get into your head and make you lose your cool. And that's what he did with Mehtab. I would have actually liked Mehtab not to engage at all because then you're not even bothered about the yellow card. He just walks away, and Mitrovic probably gets even more frustrated then because the guy is not engaging with him. So I think I just wish he didn't talk to Mitrovic because he's just that sort of guy who will try to instigate you if things are not going well, and he did that, I think. And the unfortunate part for me is that if a Mumbai City FC player picks up a yellow card, it's a problem because they are more likely to pick up yellow cards as the game goes on, which is why I felt Mehtab at that point, I just wish he just walked away. But it's okay. I still think Mumbai City gave it a good fight, had their moments. Changte, like you mentioned, one on one a couple of times, could have done a little better, but I think Apuya was again brilliant. I did not see him put a foot wrong today. Um, just when he had to play the ball out wide, he did it. When he had to play a few intricate passes in midfield, he did it, and he was lovely to watch. I think he was even better than some of the foreigners for Mumbai. So, yeah, Hiren, your thoughts on the game?
I think there are a lot of positives from this game. Definitely, as a fan, so definitely we expect, or you can say, कि our expectation are very high from Mumbai City कि draw कर ले या फिर कुछ ऐसा कर ले. But I think overall जो I think as a अगर आप रियलिस्टिकली वे में देखें तो जो आई थिंक जो परफॉर्मेंस होना चाहिए था उस तरह की परफॉर्मेंस भी उन्होंने दी. एंड आई थिंक 2-0 इज अ वेरी रिस्पेक्टेबल स्कोर लाइन. And with the 10 men down in last 30-35 minutes, I think this is the good score line to lose. And there are a lot of positive for the Indian side also. Some of people are saying that 20,000, I don't think so crowd support is brilliant today. I think that's a great positive, because a lot of people expected that कि भाई चलो नो डाउट नेमार नहीं थे तो फिर भी अली को सपोर्ट मिलता, लेकिन आई थिंक मुंबई सिटी को सपोर्ट मिला है आज, वो उसमें कोई आई थिंक मना नहीं कर सकता. आई थिंक थ्रू आउट द मैच they have get a really good support. There are a lot of chants also happening, so that's a good thing. First of all, 30,000 people turning up without Neymar playing this match, that shows ki if there is a quality match then people will turn up. So that's also one of the things that ISL and the decision maker has to look out for. And third thing, I think Indian players performance, I think much impressed from Mehtab. Apuya and Changte has been, हम सबको पता है कि is in they are in the good touch, but Mehtab, Akash Mishra and Rahul Peke, I think these three players played brilliant. And आई थिंक राहुल बेके को जो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दी गई थी पर्टिकुलरली ऑन दैट राइट साइड, आई थिंक he performed really well, and जो कि काफी जरूरी है because I think he will be really really important in the World Cup qualifiers also. आपको बैकलाइन में उनकी जरूरत, उनकी और मेहताब और आकाश मिश्रा, आई थिंक ये तीनों प्लेयर, आप इंडिया की बैकलाइन भी अगर आप देखें जो इस तरह की टीम सिलेक्शन इगो स्टेमिक ने की है, आई थिंक दे आर गोइंग टू बी रियली क्रूशियल अगेंस्ट कुवैत एंड कतार. एंड कतार जैसी टीम के सामने टेक ऑन कर रहे थे, आई थिंक दिस इज द परफेक्ट, आपके आपके पास एक टेम्पलेट आ गया कि हाउ यू टेक ऑन द बिग टीम्स. अगर आपको उनके सामने थोड़ा सा भी चांस आपको रखना है, क्योंकि अगर मान लीजिए कि मुंबई सिटी ने वो जो फर्स्ट हाफ में एक आध दो उनके जो चांस बने थे उसमें से एक आध भी अगर उन्होंने कन्वर्ट कर लिया होता, देन इट विल बी अ डिफरेंट बॉल गेम, और यू कैन से कि जो प्रेशर होता है वो डिफरेंट होता है. नो डाउट हाइंडसाइट पे हम बात कर रहे हैं, लेकिन दिस इज द लर्निंग लेसन कि आप बड़े गेम्स में बड़ी टीमों के सामने आपको जो अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलती है, यू हैव टू बरी देम. एंड उसके बाद आप गेम, ऐसा नहीं है कि आप पूरा ही आप क्या बोलते हैं कि डोमिनेट या फिर आप कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकते हो. सो दिस आर दी थिंग जो आई थिंक इन प्लेयरों को आई थिंक काफी इनवेल्युएबल एक्सपीरियंस आई थिंक इस मैच से मिला है. आकाश मिश्रा थ्रू आउट द गेम मेरे को काफी ब्रिलियंट लगे. आई थिंक एक आध दो मिस्टेक की, लेकिन दैट हैपेंस इन द बिग गेम्स. बड़ी टीमों के सामने जब खेलते हो यू मेक मिस्टेक, बट हाउ यू रिकवर फ्रॉम दैट मिस्टेक, आई थिंक दैट इज द मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंट चीज जो आई थिंक उनकी ओर से देखने को मिली. अपुया आई थिंक कंप्लीटली एग्री विथ यू राहुल. आई थिंक ही हैज बीन टॉप नॉच. आई थिंक द मोस्ट ब्रिलियंट थिंग जो मेरे को अपुया की लगती है, द पोजिशनिंग सेंस ऑफ हिज. आई थिंक बिकॉज द डिफेंसिव मिडफील्डर का सबसे क्रूशियल पार्ट वही होता है कि आप डिफेंसिव लाइन को अपनी किस तरह से हेल्प करते हो. एंड इन दैट सिचुएशन आई थिंक अपुया वाज टॉप नॉच. आई थिंक ग्रिफिथ्स तेरी भी मेरे को आज काफी सॉलिड लगे बैकलाइन में. विद द 10 मैन आल्सो आई थिंक दे शो सम कैरेक्टर, जो कि फर्स्ट मेरे को जो फर्स्ट लेग या फिर जो नो बॉल है उसके सामने तेरी का वो गेम प्ले नहीं दिख रहा था, तो आज वो देखने को मिला. दैट्स आल्सो गुड पार्ट. योलवेन नाइफ का टॉप नॉच गेम था. होरे परेरा डियास could have done better, but it's okay. So overall I think मेरे हिसाब से इट्स अ परफेक्ट गेम जो आई थिंक जो एज ए रियलिस्टिक जो हमने एक्सपेक्टेशन रखी थी, आई थिंक उस सभी एरियाज में आई थिंक इस मैच ने आई थिंक जो टिक मार्क है या फिर जो बॉक्सेस है वो टिक किए है मेरे हिसाब से.
Yeah, I know what you guys are saying. I mean, Hiren is saying that it is a good performance. I feel frustrated today because Mumbai having got to halftime nil all, and we've got into the second half, it's still nil all. I felt like the longer the game goes on, the you just need a set piece, and you just need a free kick in the attacking half, and something can happen. I just wish they held on to 11 players. Anvit is saying Mehtab got to the
but
ball.
but 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 राहुल, if
हाँ,
you, I don't think so the first part जहाँ पे वो मित्रोविच के सामने खड़े रहे वहां पे मेरे को कोई दिख, I think he does the right thing. I think आप जरूर, मैं आपकी बात समझ गया कि भाई यहाँ पे मुंबई को आगे दिक्कत हो सकती थी, लेकिन आई थिंक वो 60 के सामने आपको दिखाना चाहिए आपके पास बॉडी है, तो यू कांट बुली लाइक दैट. आई थिंक
no,
दैट
no,
शोज
I
द
agree.
मेंटालिटी. बट आई थिंक जो सेकंड रेफरी का डिसीजन मेरे को वो गलत लगा, जो उन्होंने सेकंड येलो दिया. आई थिंक बॉल भी वहां पे अगर आप देखेंगे तो रुबेन नेवेस ने पहले उससे पहले मेहताब ने विन की थी वहां पे, एंड दैट वाज अ रियली रियली सॉफ्ट कॉल फ्रॉम द रेफरी, टू बी ऑनेस्ट.
No, I agree. I
आई थिंक
completely agree. The
एंड उतना
problem
भी कोई
I
डेंजर वो नहीं बन रहा
हाँ,
था, नो डाउट इट वाज ऑन द काउंटर, बट ऐसा भी नहीं था कि ओपन थे वो सामने. सामने आपके भी प्लेयर, मुंबई सिटी के भी डिफेंडर थे, तो ऐसा नहीं था कि आप पूरा रुबेन नेवेस क्या बोलते कि मेहताब को पास कर जाते और पूरा उनके लिए ओपन चांस था. फिर भी समझ में आता, चलो कि फिर भी आप, चलो सॉफ्ट फाउल है, फिर भी आप येलो कर देते थे. वहां पे बॉल बंदे ने क्लियर विन की. और मेरे को सबसे ज्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग ये लगा कि वीआर आपने क्यों चेक नहीं किया फिर. आप
second yellow they don't check. So only direct
It's
red.
not a. It's only if you do give a direct red, then the VR
ओके.
can step in.
हाँ,
So
but that was a soft, very very soft call. बाकी I don't think
I
so कि
think
मेहताब ने.
I don't even think it's a soft call. I think it's a mistake
हाँ,
from the referee. I
yeah,
think he
mistake
touched the ball first. Again, it's been said by others. I
हाँ,
felt he was on the ball first, and Ruben Neves made a
yeah.
lot out of it. And this is something
हाँ,
where you see these guys. Again, those of you who love to watch the Premier League, a lot of play acting comes in, right? So, be it Mitrovic, be it Ruben Neves, again, Alilal has all those kind of characters, right? Even Neymar is the biggest play actor in the world of football. So, but again, it's Mumbai played well. You had a few opportunities. I think the biggest learning of the last week has been that Des Buckingham has a plan B and a plan C. I think that's the biggest learning of Mumbai City, that there's no one-way high press attack, but no, you know your opponents and accordingly you change your style. You saw that against Punjab FC, that they played differently and put a lot of pressure on Punjab FC. Today, they took a much more defensive approach. And whenever it was needed, they also played the long ball.
long ball.
And that is something which I was very interesting to see, that if the need was, play the ball out. Because normally Mumbai tries to combine, wants to play possession football. They today realized is that we have to play differently and try to see how we get out of this game. And I think that's the biggest learning, I think, that you have from such a game. I'm just looking at the stats. Mumbai City had 21.2% of the ball compared to 78.8%, and won 36.6% of the duels, and in the air only won 31%. And that was one thing, 5 to 10 corners and 2 offsides to Mumbai City. So you realize that Mumbai City played, for their own standards, a very unnatural game. Because they realized, if we go out there and do what we did in Saudi Arabia, we're going to get slaughtered. And I think today was also, even if you watch the match and listen, whenever there were these clearances, even when they were playing the ball out for throw-ins, you heard the crowd. And this is something which I, out of own experience at the DY Patil Stadium, is there. If there are 20,000+ people in that stadium, the atmosphere does come over to the team, and that's something which I liked, and they gave it everything. So therefore, yeah, it's. But we have to be honest. You are playing against a much superior opponent. Again, Lord Baker, I understand your logic with Navbahar and 25% of the possession. They're of a different level than Mumbai City. Let's be honest. The other 3 teams play in a different league than anything that our clubs can play. That's the last 2 months. We've been talking about this since start of September till now. If anyone was thinking Indian football was flying, sorry guys, we are not. Be it the national team men's, national team women's, be it our clubs in Asian club competition. Gokulam Kerala is another one today. 8 goals against Urawa Reds. We've lost now 7 and 8 to the Japanese national team and to their one of the top club sides. We have to be clear. So we need to understand, as much as we all love Indian football, We are nowhere near where we would love, all of us would love Indian football to be. And the hard work needs to be done.
I think
We are
this is
always
the
talking, sorry,
N-
Hiren, please.
नहीं नहीं से ये मैं इस क्वेश्चन के लिए ज्यादा इंटरेस्टेड हूँ जो सेगी ने बोला है कि इफ द अलीलाल मैचेस कैन विदाउट नेमार पीपल नो क्या बोलते हैं कि लोगों को काफी पहले से पता चल गया था कि नेमार विल बी नॉट अवेलेबल एंड स्टिल देयर इज अ 30,000 पीपल टर्न अप दैट मींस आप आईएसएल में और आपको जो डिसीजन मेकर है आई थिंक दे नीड टू बेटर प्लान
No,
यू कैन से
Hiren,
कि
I'll tell you what. If Mumbai City plays regularly at DY Patil, they will get 20,000 plus. That's a reality. Out of own experience, we had 20,000 plus. The
then
point
why
here
not
is,
why not ये क्या बोलते हैं जो मुंबई फुटबॉल एरिना है वहां पे नहीं होता क्राउड उतना
because we're talking about Navi Mumbai, a lot of young people, college kids from the area. If you
area
saw pan out, you saw a lot of Man United, Arsenal, City, Real, Barca jerseys, Paris Saint-Germain,
yeah
Bayern Munich. I saw all of them today. So
हाँ
there's this young crowd. For them in Navi Mumbai, football potentially is bigger entertainment than in the heart of Mumbai, in
मुंबई
Andheri.
हाँ
So that is, that is something which is a reality. That if you're in the heart of Mumbai, I think it will be difficult to get 5,000-7,000 people. But if you go to DY Patil, you can get your 20,000 on average. And today was a highlight match. That's why you got 30,000. If Neymar was playing, I think he would have got 55,000 people and he would have got a sellout crowd.
Hmm.
So we have to be honest to ourselves of where we stand. And again, Shaggy has a very valid point, but it's for all clubs. Our historic clubs, our clubs who are 10 years old. There's one real success story when it comes to fans of the last 10 years, and that's the Kerala Blasters coming out of the ISL. Right? Rahul, you're a BFC fan. It's an up and down. You're not getting those 20,000 on regular, even Bengaluru, when you were doing well, you're not getting 20,000 people to come in. East Bengal, struggling to get people in because the fans are saying the team is where it is. So therefore, that's something, there's fan culture, irrespective on what day, what time my team is playing, and where am I in the table. I think that is something, that is when you can say you have a real football culture. That is when it sets in, that it doesn't matter if your team is playing top tier, second tier, third tier.
Third tier, हाँ.
But the point here is that even if a few fans who went today and liked what they saw from Mumbai City and come to the ISL matches in the coming weeks and months, then that already is a success.
Success, exactly.
Because you've activated fans who normally would not come. People like us, people who are listening, you guys follow Indian football. You don't need to be converted. You guys follow Indian football. We need people to convert more people. That's the challenge.
एक चीज जो आज के मैच से अच्छी हुई है कि जो 30,000 आए, आपने बिल्कुल सही बोला कि उसमें से चलो मान लीजिए कि 5-10 हजार होंगे कि जो मुंबई सिटी को फॉलो कर रहे होंगे, बाकी जो 20,000 थे वो नेमार और उसके चलते ही आए थे, भले वो अलीलाल को सपोर्ट नहीं कर रहे थे लेकिन नेमार को तो कर ही रहे थे। तो डेफिनेटली उन्होंने तो आई थिंक 30,000 में से काफी सारे ऐसे लोग भी होंगे कि जिन्होंने पहली बार मुंबई सिटी को खेलते हुए देखा होगा, और टीवी पे भी आई थिंक ब्रॉडकास्टिंग वाइज भी अगर आप देखेंगे तो काफी सारे लोगों ने मुंबई सिटी को पहली बार खेलते हुए देखा होगा। सिर्फ स्टेडियम की बात नहीं करेंगे हम, आई थिंक वो भी एक इम्पोर्टेंट चीज है, क्योंकि आई थिंक लॉट ऑफ पीपल इन इंडिया जो यहाँ पे यूरोपियन फुटबॉल फॉलो करते हैं वो भी इस मैच के टर्न अप किया होगा और उन्होंने देखा होगा कि यहाँ पे इंडियन क्लब के पास कैपेबिलिटीज है कि भाई वर्ल्ड क्लास प्लेयर के सामने कैसे खेल रहे हैं। सो उसमें से अगर 5-10% भी अगर यहाँ पे मान लीजिए कि मुंबई सिटी को फॉलो करना या फिर वो करते हैं, then that's a big you can say कि gain for the Mumbai City and for the Indian football.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, where do Mumbai go from here or not? Because Champions League, 3 games, 3 losses. They still have, 4 games, 4 losses. Still have 2 to go. 6 points up for grabs. Where do you think they go from here? Do they stick with a back five? Does Des sort of shift to a back four again for these last 2 games?
It depends. I mean, when you're going to Iran, I think you'll have to see how you set yourself up. You will have to live with certain suspensions. That's also a reality.
Mhm.
And injuries as well. So therefore, if I am right, I think Pereira Diaz is out due to
Yes,
suspension.
Pereira Diaz
Mehta is out with suspension. Al Khayati, we don't know. So therefore, you're already missing a few. The point for Mumbai City is, I think, this Champions League has been a huge learning for the team. And it has given Des an opportunity to work on things which you will not even be able to work on in the ISL, because in the ISL, you're one of the best. But here you're playing teams who are 1-2 classes better than you. I think that defensive unit of Mumbai City today, players who've been often criticized, you've mentioned Rahul Beke, even until the second card, Mehta was playing a good game.
Good game.
Tiri, you've seen that he's evolved over the last few weeks, and you realize that this guy's been out for long. He needed time. Akash, again, at attacking movements, but is also dropping back, even though it was not the best, I would say. So, but these things are falling into place, and I think going forward for the remainder of the ISL, these are very, very good signs for Mumbai City, and that's something that is important. Again, you have a break now, which is good. You know, some of the foreigners will go and spend a few days here and there and take you off. The problem is the Indian national team players will be on the road again. You know, I was saying a few weeks ago, our players are playing 45, 50 matches. So I hope, despite now, again, travels coming up. And that's the challenge. Right?
I just want to
keep everyone fit.
No, sir. I want to add on that point कि what is the next for Mumbai City. I think जो एक चीज मेरे को लगता है कि देश बकिंग और मुंबई सिटी ने इस पूरे इस सीजन के कैंपेन से सीखने को मिलेगी. I think they need more, you can say कि अगर आप SCL या फिर एस सच कोई यहाँ पे कॉन्टिनेंटल टूर्नामेंट खेल रहे हो, then you need a much more, you can say कि लार्जर बेंच स्ट्रेंथ इन टर्म्स ऑफ द क्वालिटी वाइज. अगर आप कंपेयर करेंगे तो मुंबई सिटी के पास आप देखिए फ्रंट लाइन में आप बोल सकते हो कि विक्रम प्रताप सिंह और आपके पास गुरप्रीत सिंह और यू कैन से कि आयुष टिकारा है, लेकिन आई डोंट सी कि उतना ज्यादा क्वालिटी आप उसके उनके पास बैकअप के तौर पे अगर आप देखेंगे तो मिडफील्ड या फिर बैकलाइन में है. आई थिंक दैट्स आल्सो वन ऑफ द लर्निंग लेसन जो कि आई थिंक उस बेसिस पे अगर आप देखेंगे तो कहीं ना कहीं आपका ये क्या बोलते हैं कि मोहन बगान भी अगर आप देखिए उनके पास बैकलाइन में जैसे अनवर अली गया, व्हाट इज द अदर ऑप्शन यू कैन से यू हैव एज अ सेंटर बैक इन द इंडियन टाइम. आई थिंक सुमित राठी है आपके पास, उसके अलावा कोई नहीं है. सो आई थिंक दैट आल्सो वन ऑफ द फैक्टर कि अगर आप आईएसएल निकाल लोगे, आप 6 फॉरेनर्स के साथ आईएसएल निकाल सकते हो, लेकिन आपको अगर एसीएल या फिर एएफसी कप जाना है कि जहां पे अभी 6 फॉरेनर्स अलाउ कर रहे हैं, सो दैट्स आल्सो वन ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम फॉर द क्लब्स. ये हो रहा है कि सिर्फ अगर आप चैंपियंस लीग के लिए 2 एक्स्ट्रा फॉरेनर आप मान लीजिए कि 8 फॉरेनर्स आप रखते हो तो फिर आप उसको आईएसएल में खिला नहीं सकते हो. सो आई थिंक थोड़ा सा स्क्वाड मैनेजमेंट भी मेरे को लगता है कि आपको अगर इस तरह का आपका नेक्स्ट सीजन या फिर होने वाला है कैंपेन, तो आई थिंक उस सेंस में भी देखना पड़ेगा. आप सिर्फ मेरे को लगता है कि मुंबई सिटी वहां पे भी थोड़ा सा लेक के कि उनके पास स्टार्टिंग 11 के लिए प्लेयर इनफ थे, लेकिन जो उनके लिए एज ए सब्स्टिट्यूशन आ रहे थे वो एज ए इम्पैक्ट सब्स्टिट्यूशन आप नहीं बोल सकते कि हाँ भाई ये मैच में आके ये वो चेंज कर सकते हैं. सो आई थिंक दैट्स आल्सो वन ऑफ द फैक्टर जो कि आई थिंक इस सीजन मुंबई सिटी और देश बकिंघम को सीखने को मिला है. आईएसएल निकल जाएगा आपका, लेकिन यू नीड ए मोर better, you can say, bench strength wale player in terms of the Indian players, or you can say foreigners also.
Yeah.
See the problem with that is, what is your focus? Focus will be ISL.
ISL, exactly. That's also one of the reasons.
ACL is a bonus.
Experimental tour.
So your focus is that you have brought in talented youngsters. You have loaned out some of them. Let's say Gyani Nikum has been loaned out. So Naucha has been loaned out over the last 2 years as well. So the question is, for example, a player like Vinit Rai is getting minimum playing time at Mumbai City. At other teams, he would be a starting player.
player. Hmm.
That is the challenge. Would someone be willing to come in and be a bench player mainly?
Bench player.
Yeah.
Gurkirat is again, we come to the striker topic.
Hmm.
So that's the point of what you want to do. And again, you've mentioned Mohun Bagan on paper looks to have a better squad. But I've said pre-season, Anwar Ali as an Indian defender, injury, big problem, and that's actually happened.
बट सर मैं वही वही बोल रहा हूँ ना कि अगर आप दो कंपटीशन आप अगर आप करने जा रहे हो देन इट्स अ चैलेंज फॉर द क्लब्स कि आपको यू हैव टू हैव दैट यू कैन से कि बिग स्क्वाड अदरवाइज आप नहीं कर पाओगे आपको आप एक फिर आप हम जो बोल रहे हैं कि वही हो जाएगा कि आपका फोकस फिर सिर्फ आईएसएल ही रह जाएगा ये मतलब आप जो एक कॉम्पिटिटिव लेवलनेस जो चाहते हो कि आप एसीएल में भी दे पाओ नो डाउट आपका अल्टीमेट गोल वो नहीं था कि भाई आप एसीएल में इतना आगे बढ़ पाओगे लेकिन फिर भी एक जो एक कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस हम एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं वो भी आप फिर वो नहीं ला पाओगे क्योंकि आपके पास ऐसा कोई ऑप्शन नहीं रहेंगे
But Hiren, which players are you supposed to sign and bring in that will make you competitive in the ACL?
दैट इज द चैलेंज कि इंडियन प्लेयर्स
वो
की
नहीं
आपके
है.
पास नहीं
You
है
saw
नहीं
the
है हाँ
difference of quality, na?
हम्म
We are bringing in. We don't have the quality to bring in. Now Mumbai City has taken a very, very calculated approach on a strong bunch of 15, 16 players.
players exactly
And the other 9, 10 are young and upcoming players.
players
That's their approach.
Yep.
So that's the challenge, right? And that's the problem that you have, that again, you have Mumbai City, Mohun Bagan, Odisha, Goa. They make up mainly also the national team at the moment. So therefore, that's the thing, right? You want an even higher concentration of players in one club. Again, next season we're going to be playing the second tier, AFC Champions League 2, it's going to be called. And that level is going to be in between the Champions League and the AFC Cup. So it's going to be in between. So that's another challenge for the top teams in India. So,
Yep.
you know.
बट सर माय पॉइंट इज कि अगर आप मान लीजिए कि आप नेक्स्ट सीजन से शायद फेडरेशन कप भी आप साथ कराने की कोशिश अब अगर जो बात चल रही है अगर हो पाए चांसेस तो कम लग रहे हैं लेकिन फिर भी अगर मान लीजिए हो पाए सो अब आप सिर्फ पहले क्या होता था कि सिर्फ आप आईएसएल ही खेल रहे होते थे तो यू कैन गो अवे विद जो आपने बोला कि 15-16 क्वालिटी प्लेयर है सो आप निकाल लेते थे लेकिन अब आपका जो सोचने का या फिर आपकी जो प्रिपरेशन है वो भी तो फिर बड़ी होनी चाहिए ना कि अब आप मल्टीपल टूर्नामेंट्स ऐसा तो नहीं है कि आप सिंगल टूर्नामेंट ही खेल रहे हो एंड क्लब्स भी बढ़ते जा रहे हैं मैचेस भी आपके बढ़ते जा रहे हैं आई डोंट थिंक सो कि पहले हमने देखा है कि हमारे प्लेयर कभी भी इतना वीक इन वीक आउट खेले सो वो भी आई थिंक क्लब्स को अब देखना पड़ेगा कि जो एक स्क्वाड रोटेशन है वो भी एक अब पिक्चर में आएगा ऐसा नहीं होगा कि सिर्फ आप इतने प्लेयरों के साथ ही निकाल लोगे
The point here is that we have a lack of quality players even for a 12-team ISL. Now, if the 3-4 big teams have squads of 20 good Indian players, that means that the quality of the league, right? So the question is, that is something that you have to work on. Goa has been working on it. Goa has been trying to bring up players, even though some of their best players have gone on to represent other teams. You know, Listen Golasso, I think, is a prime example of that. Kerala, good example, is also being mentioned in the chat. Kerala have actually given their youngsters a chance. We spoke about the other day. I spoke with Shine. I said, they allowed Prabsukhan Gill to go for a good transfer fee to East Bengal, and they said, listen, Sachin Suresh will be our number one goalkeeper, and he's repaying them. Bibin is another one. Ayman, all these guys. So they've got, but the Kerala B team is playing at a very good competitive level in Kerala State. Mohun Bagan has a very, very talented squad in their reserves team. So therefore, that's it. Even though, again, East Bengal, again, a good example today, played in Assam, lost against Assam State Electricity Board, the reserve team. So that's the question. Do you have? But the point is, okay, you're focusing on your B team. Are you investing into grassroots? Are you investing into your U teams? But even if I invest into my U teams, where do you play? Where are the youth competitions? So that is the we go back to that old discussion, overall structure of Indian football. Where do we stand? Right?
But
So that's
these are
the
the
challenge.
but these are the basic चीज जो हम अगर नोटिस कर पा रहे हैं, so definitely जो डिसीजन मेकर है उनको भी मतलब ये तो अगर आप अब बात कर रहे हो कि यू वांट टू ग्रो द इंडियन फुटबॉल और वो सारी चीजें, और वहाँ सुनील सर का इंटरव्यू भी आया है फीफा को जो वर्ल्ड कप क्वालिफिकेशन का, तो उसके लिए भी ये सारी चीजें आपकी फॉल इन प्लेस होनी पड़ेगी तभी तो हो पाएगा। ठीक है, वो अलग ही एक डिस्कशन हो जाएगा। Let's come back to Rahul on the match.
No, but you're raising a very valid point, and the question is, where do we stand? Where do we stand? And these last 2 months, I go back to what I said a little earlier. This is a very, very basic reality check for us. Where does Indian football stand? Where does the ISL stand?
एक क्वेश्चन सर ये आ रहा है रिगार्डिंग दिस मुंबई सिटी रेसिडेंशियल एकेडमी और एनी स्टेडियम अपडेट, आपके पास कुछ अगर अपडेट
हो? They're working on things again in India. For a club to build their own facility is very, very difficult to close to impossible. There are exceptions. For example, Srinidhi Deccan, they're an educational group, have a big patch of land outside of Hyderabad, and they've built their own mini stadium, very nice facility over there. Right? Dempo, in the last few years, pulling out of the I League, decided to build their own facility, only training ground. Some others have done it. So the question here is, how do you build all of this? Because that's the long-term challenge that Indian football will be facing. We need to focus on grassroots and youth development, but don't expect results tomorrow. Your results will come in 10, 15 years. And we need to realize of where we stand, and that hard work, that hard legwork needs to be done. And to answer a tweet earlier than day which Hiren put out, I think certain people are blind and don't realize what the problems are. So I think that's that, Hiren.
Yeah.
Let's Rahul move on to the next AFC Cup.
Let's start talking about the AFC Cup,
which is going to be very, very exciting.
Yeah. Before that, everybody who's watching, please do like, share, and subscribe to the stream. Also, the channels Sports Kabaddi, Curious Harry, Iron Foot, and Indian Food and Football. Yeah, moving on to the AFC Cup, got a couple of games. Odisha, Mohun Bagan, both in action. First one is Odisha versus Mazia, away game for Odisha. Guys, how do you see this one playing out? Odisha need the points. Hiren, how do you see this playing out? How do Odisha?
Definitely, जो last match उन्होंने माजिया के सामने home पे खेला था, that definitely thrashing वहाँ पे हुई थी, एंड सर्जियो लोबेरा आई थिंक नाउ इज जो प्लेइंग स्टाइल है या फिर वो देखने को मिल रही है अभी में डेफिनेटली माजिया के सामने चैलेंज रहेगा, बट आई थिंक दे हैव टू विन बिकॉज आई थिंक जिस तरह की ओडिशा के पास टीम है, आई थिंक दे हैव इनफ प्लेयर्स जो कि मतलब माजिया को हरा सकते हैं। चाहे वो फ्रंट लाइन में देखो, आई थिंक डिएगो मोरिसो लुकिंग रियली रियली गुड, लास्ट आईएसएल मैच में उनके गोल से 3 क्रूशियल पॉइंट लिए हैं। एक को जो लिथलनेस है वो है, बट लेट्स सी कि क्या रोहित कृष्णा को स्टार्ट मिलता है। आइजैक एंड इसाक, अगर इंडियन प्लेयर की बात करें, दे आर प्लेइंग वेल फॉर ओडिशा। बैकलाइन में आई थिंक मोर्तादा फॉल, डेलगाडो, एमी रेनेवडे आई थिंक प्लेइंग ब्रिलियंटली, सो दैट्स ग्रेट टू सी। सो डेफिनेटली अवे गेम जरूर है, लेकिन आई थिंक आई विल कंसिडर ओडिशा एज ए, यू कैन से कि they have to win this match, and माजिया के सामने आई थिंक आपका जो एफसी रैंकिंग का भी थोड़ा सा हमें हेल्प मिल जाएगा अगर वो जीतते हैं तो। एंड एक आई थिंक अच्छा एक्सपोजर रहेगा इंडियन प्लेयरों के लिए भी कि अवे में खेलना मालदीव्स के क्लब के सामने, इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू बी इजी, बट इंटरेस्टिंग मैच तो होगा। आई एम नॉट एक्सपेक्टिंग कि जो हमें ओडिशा में भुवनेश्वर में जो लास्ट वीक देखने को मिला था, आई थिंक उस तरह की थ्रेसिंग में नहीं देख रहा हूँ। आई थिंक इट विल बी इवनली मैच कि माजिया भी यहाँ पे अच्छी फाइट पुटअप करेगी, सो मजा आएगा। आई थिंक इट विल बी इंटरेस्टिंग।
Yeah. People in the chat are discussing Mohun Bagan and Basundhara Kings, but we'll get to that. Remember, if Odisha win tomorrow and Basundhara Kings lose, then Odisha go into second place. So important game for them, given the context. Do you see them winning it?
I think one important aspect is whenever whoever goes to the Maldives has to acclimatize to the weather, on that island weather, and to those sandy grass pitches. Basundhara had their problems, huge problems, and lost over there. And therefore, any team going to the Maldives, yeah,
It's not a vacation time.
it's not a vacation time. Even though if you see the Insta stories of those players who are flying there, it looks like they're on the way to
Vacation beaches.
Beaches and all that stuff, and holiday getaways. The point here is, for Odisha, I think Odisha in the last few weeks has settled down. I think you saw at the start of the season when they got thrashed by Mohun Bagan, they were not ready at the time. The point here is that this team has potential, and if they can get going, I think it's an interesting competition and challenge, this AFC Cup, because again they've lost the first two matches and now they've won their third, and now they're back in sort of in the game. And Mazia will be worried about Odisha and its attacking prowess. So therefore, looking forward to a good game. And I would think that for the interest in the group, I think a win for Odisha would be a good one.
Yeah.
जस्ट वन सेकंड राहुल, जस्ट
Yeah.
वन सेकंड। मौलिक नियर भाई, उसके रिगार्डिंग हम बात करेंगे। अभी हम तो इस टॉपिक की बात कर रहे हैं, उसके रिगार्डिंग किसी और दिन बात कर लेंगे। कुमार रेड्डी भाई के पुतिया का जो टॉपिक है, आई थिंक डेफिनेटली सर्जियो लोबेरा के अंडर, आई थिंक इस सीजन आई थिंक काफी ज्यादा उसको सीखने को मिलेगा। सो दैट्स अ गुड पार्ट on that thing, and definitely अगर he continues play like this, then definitely नेशनल टीम में भी कॉल अप जल्दी आएगा। सो दैट्स अ ग्रेट कि आप जब अच्छे कोचेस आपको आईएसएल में मिलते हैं, देन जो इंडियन प्लेयर्स है उनका डेवलपमेंट भी होता है। सो इट्स वन ऑफ द एग्जांपल कि पूतिया जिस तरह से खेल रहा है, ग्रेट टू सी।
Yeah, interesting game. And then, of course, the other one is Mohun Bagan and Basundhara Kings. Mohun Bagan, if they win this, they extend the league on top of the group. They're already 7 points. They win this, they go to 10. They'll be comfortably placed in that group. How do they approach this? They're flying in the ISL, flying in the AFC Cup seemingly. So, Mohun Bagan winning this for you, Hiren?
And last match was a draw against Basundhara Kings, and that was a big, I think, setback for them. And आई थिंक जो जिस तरह की वसुंधरा अपने होम पे खेली, अगर आप ओडिशा वाला गेम भी उठा के देख लीजिए, नो डाउट हमको पता है कि ओडिशा और मोहन बगान की बैकलाइन में या फिर जिस तरह की प्लेयर्स है डिफरेंस है, लेकिन अनवर अली का ना होना, आई थिंक दैट विल बी बिग लॉस फॉर मोहन बगान इन दिस मैच। आई थिंक मेरे हिसाब से अवे में आई थिंक डिफेंसिव लाइन जिस तरह से आपको सोलिडारिटी चाहिए होगी, बिकॉज वसुंधरा किंग्स हमने देखा है कि होम पे आई थिंक दे प्ले डिफरेंटली देन देयर अवे मैचेस। आई थिंक जो उनका अप्रोच रहता है वो काफी ज्यादा डिफरेंट रहता है, एंड जिस तरह के उनके पास फ्रंट लाइन में आई थिंक प्लेयर है, आई डोंट थिंक सो कि अगर किसी आईएसएल क्लब्स के पास भी देखें तो आई डोंट थिंक सो कि ऐसे फॉरेनर्स है। रोबिन्यो और जिस तरह से वो आई थिंक है, आई थिंक रोबिन्यो ने दोनों बार प्रूव किया है, ओडिशा और मोहन बगान दोनों के बैकलाइन को उन्होंने खोल के रखा है जब भी उन्होंने खेला है। होम पे जब ओडिशा के सामने खेला और अवे में जब मोहन बगान के सामने खेला, ही शोज हिज क्वालिटी, एंड दैट ब्राजीलियन इज वेरी वेरी डेंजरस, एंड क्राउड का सपोर्ट भी होगा बांग्लादेश में, and basically it's going to be Bangladesh versus India, so I think it will be very 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 tough game for Mohun Bagan, I would say. It's not a straightforward game for me, to be honest, and I would be happy if Mohun Bagan will draw against Basundhara Kings, to be honest, but they should be winning this match to secure their you can say next round position. So मजा आएगा, I think it will be टक्कर। I think this is the match will be more you can say कि hard for match than Mazia versus Odisha.
Norbek is saying Mohun Bagan is It's not going to be a straightforward game. He believes they'll lose. Arnav, what do you think? Do you see Mohun Bagan winning this?
I want to tighten it because it said India versus Bangladesh. I think it's a fight of two Bengals. I think, as a
Mm-hmm.
Bengali, I think that's something which is even more playing in this. And Basundhara at home are very, very little. And if they can get away with a 2-2 in Kolkata, um, agree with, yeah, exactly, Lord Baker. That's a fact. I would actually see them in advantage, even despite the squad that Mohun Bagan Supergiant have. I think Basundhara at home, Oscar Bruzon as a coach, Robinho has been mentioned. They are dangerous, and I think this is, as an away match for Mohun Bagan, the biggest test. Uh, you know, that is something which I feel is very, very important. That they overcome Basundhara, because if Basundhara win, Odisha win, or even Mazia, doesn't matter actually. You have two teams on 7 and one team on 6
6.
after 4 match days. This group would be totally open. And this, I think, is something which is very, very important, and makes it very, very happy for everyone, because then let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
But the
Um,
Rahul, 1 second. I think the important
yeah.
decision for the John Fernando will be the is he going to be use the back 3 or back 4 now, because Anwar Ali is not there. So Subhasis Bose, Brendan Emil, and Hector Utse will be used as a back 3, or you can say he will go with back 4 and then midfield and then front line, because I think Hugo Bumo का भी last match उसने भी miss किया था. आपके स्ट्राइकर जो है जैसन क्यूमिंग्स उन्होंने भी मिस किया था. सो आई थिंक वो भी देखना इंटरेस्टिंग से रहेगा कि कौन कौन से प्लेयर अवेलेबल है आपके. आई थिंक दैट विल आल्सो डिसाइड द स्टार्टिंग 11 एंड दैट विल नॉट डिपेंड बिकॉज ग्लान मार्टिन्स इन मिडफील्ड एंड that will be interesting to see.
Yeah. And interestingly, I mean, Mohun Bagan, they're just doing well in all competitions. So, uh, anyways, like let's get to a scoreline prediction. Hiren, Arnav, from both of you, if for both the AFC Cup games, if you can just quickly let me know your score predictions.
I would go 2-1 for Odisha.
Score
Okay.
prediction for Mohun Bagan versus
Whoa,
okay.
Hiren, Arnav,
Okay.
2-1
Okay.
Odisha. Arnav, 2-1
Yeah.
Odisha. Hiren, Odisha, and then we can go to Mohun Bagan. Right? Hiren,
Okay.
Odisha.
Odisha versus Mazia. I'm Odisha versus Mazia. I'm seeing mm, 3 would be for Odisha. ज्यादा नहीं हो जाएगा 3.
What you
Hey,
want to say?
they're
250,
attacking.
250 for 8 or something? No, that was. Oh no, sorry, that was a cricket World Cup, right?
No, but Odisha,
I
anyways, they like going forward.
I'm फिर 2 मेरा भी 2-1 ही होगा फिर तो यार. 2-1 इज द यू कैन से कि वो सबसे ज्यादा यूज्ड होता हुआ प्रेडिक्शन है कि अगर आपको कुछ नहीं लगता तो फिर 2-1
Yeah,
तो
true.
so either it will be 2-1 or 1-0 victory for the Odisha.
Yeah. The other one, Arnav?
Basically they are
Oh,
winning by
yeah.
1 goal margin.
Cool. 1 goal margin for Hiren. Arnava has given a 2-1 prediction. The other one, Mohun Bagan, Basundhara Kings, Arnava, and then Hiren.
I would like Mohun Bagan to win.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel Basundhara will win this one. Either another 3-2 as they beat Odisha. I think a 3-2 could be something. Because I don't know, are Cummings and Bumos fit for tomorrow? I don't think so, right?
उसको क्या बोलते कि वो फीवर था तो मुश्किल है शायद. Cummings fit है. I think Cummings has been traveled to the Bangladesh, so he is fit. But Hugo Bumo का doubtful है मेरे को.
And that's I think a huge factor, because I think Cummings and Bumos are players. They're amongst the best players that you have in the Indian system at the moment, right? So that's a reality. And the point here is, if you're missing 1 or 2 foreigners, instead of playing 6, you're playing 4. that directly weakens your team.
Yeah.
And so therefore, and um, Mohun Bagan were lucky to get away in Jamshedpur the other day. You know, on one side they showed their class, but on the other side, Jamshedpur, with their means of playing football, gave them a run for the money. And again, Basundhara was a 2-2 draw. So therefore, I think it's going to be a challenge. So therefore, I think Basundhara is at the moment, I would think 3-2 for them.
Oof, interesting. Okay, Hiren.
I still feel that Mohun Bagan can win this match, but it will be difficult. I'm seeing a 2-2 draw or a 2-1 victory to the Mohun Bagan.
Okay, okay. So we've got board. I mean, both of you have given different predictions. This is an interesting one. We'll come back and we'll discuss tomorrow where this one goes. Okay, before we sign off, guys, of course there was a Gokulam Kerala game. I know Hiren was reluctant to talk about this before we started this, but 8-0 at the hands of Urawa Reds. Anava, expecting?
Yeah, not surprised.
Okay.
I thought
Yeah.
7 to 10 would have been my range, and it was 8 in the end. They were doing quite well till about 80 minutes, and then this is a problem which we seem to have. Once you concede 4 or 5, towards the last few minutes, you then concede 2-3 more, and that's something which is difficult. And again, one thing, you're sending teams into these competitions with no match practice at all. What do you expect? Seriously, I mean, this is a question that needs to be asked to the FA. Said if you know, and this is known in advance when these competitions are happening, schedule your leagues around them. You're doing it in the ISL now. You didn't do it in the past, but even your ISL factors in AFC competitions and India assignments, which we didn't do in the past. So therefore, I think that's a challenge. I think especially for the women's game, and again, it shows. Maybe a little hard hitting, but I feel it's a lost 2023 for Indian women's football. If you look at it, what has happened or rather not happened, I see no development this year. I feel it's a lost year. And our women, if we work on the women's game, we can play the 2027 FIFA World Cup for women. We can qualify for the Women's World Cup. And I think that needs to be our aim, to be competitive in 2026 in the Asian Cup, to have the chance either to qualify directly or qualify via the playoffs. But yeah, it's disappointing because the women, I thought we were a little better off, and it looks like same problems as with the men's game even in a much bigger multitude. I think the problems that the men's game had about 20-25 years ago, those same issues, problems are replicated in the women's game today.
Yeah. Very new team, but why they didn't have practice, I think there is no league structure to. I mean, you need to be playing consistently in the first place. I think we've already spoken about this.
The question is, who do you then play against, right? I mean, the point is, it's a women's team. You're not going to travel like the men's teams now in preseason travel, right? You play in Bangalore, you play in Hyderabad, you play in Goa, you play in Kolkata. Doesn't happen in the women's game. Again, women's football development is 20, 30 years behind where the men stand in these kind of things. Therefore, for them also to find opponents is difficult, because if you go elsewhere, other teams are playing their national leagues.
Yeah, exactly. So, Hiren, then quick word on this. Of course, I just still want to hear your opinion on this, because it was an Asian game for the women, for Gokulam Kerala. So yeah.
For me, it's a repeat of India versus Japan World Cup Olympic qualifiers match couple of days back. So that summed up the exact reality. Either it's a club or national team. There is no difference, and definitely match practice nahi tha. Lekin still there is a I don't think so कि I completely agree with Aruna sir that 2023 is the you can say कि आपने एक स्टेप पीछे लिया है वुमेन्स टीम के इम्प्रूवमेंट के वाइज. और एक चीज मैं यहाँ पे क्लियर कर दूं, चाहे कोई भी डिसीजन में करो, चाहे वो क्लब्स लेवल पे हो, आई थिंक barring that 5-10% people who is involved in the women's football, I think it just for the showcase. We are doing work in the women's football. There is a, and they are not the, you can say कि serious, जो हम बोल रहे हैं ना कि 2027 के लिए अगर हम अच्छे से अगर प्लानिंग के साथ जाए और प्रॉपर कुछ काम करे, then definitely that can be reality. But ये जो डिसीजन मेकर है उनके लिए प्रायोरिटी नहीं है. दिस इज द हार्श रियलिटी. फैंस के लिए हो सकता है, वुमेन्स प्लेयर्स के लिए हो सकता है, कुछ क्लब के लिए हो सकता है, एक आध दो को छोड़ के, बाकी सबके लिए सिर्फ ये ऐसा नहीं होता जो बड़ी कंपनियों में होता है कि आपको CSR कुछ यहाँ पे चैरिटेबल वर्क करना पड़ता है. दिस इज हाउ दे टेक द वुमेन्स फुटबॉल, टू बी ऑनेस्ट. आई थिंक दैट माइंडसेट इज लाइक दैट कि भाई ये जो मैच फुटबॉल का 10 करोड़ है, इसमें से चलो 5-10 लाख बचे हैं, तो वुमेन्स फुटबॉल में डाल दो, जो होना होता है. बिकॉज एक इंसिडेंट मैं बताऊंगा आज के मैच का, जिन्होंने नहीं देखा होगा. 77th मिनट, प्लेयर इज गोकुलम केरला, ही इज थ्रोइंग डाउन, एंड वहां पे थ्रो किया है कि जहां पे कोई भी गोकुलम केरला का प्लेयर नहीं था, गोल किक दे दी उसने. तो ये आपका अगर टॉप लेवल का फुटबॉल प्लेयर का अगर आप ऐसी सिचुएशन में भी अगर आप देखें उनका माइंडसेट ऐसा है, तो दैट शोज कि प्रॉब्लम इज नॉट विद द प्लेयर. प्लेयर तो चाहे जिस तरह से उसका डेवलपमेंट हुआ है वो सारी चीजें, लेकिन द इश्यू विद द किस तरह से आपकी प्रायोरिटी क्या है, वो क्लियरली वहां पे विजिबल होती है. कि अगर आपका टॉप लेवल का प्लेयर भी अगर ऐसी माइंडसेट के साथ खेल रहा है, देन व्हाट यू कैन एक्सपेक्ट फ्रॉम द टीम, सिंपल एज दैट. फिर आप कितना भी चाहे बोल लो, उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. तो दिस इज द हार्श रियलिटी कि जो भी डिसीजन मेकर है उनके लिए भाई वुमेन्स फुटबॉल प्रायोरिटी नहीं है, चाहे वो कितना भी बोल ले. जैसे वो पॉलिटिशियन नहीं बोलते कि भाई हम वुमेन्स को क्या बोलते हैं कि आगे लाना चाहते हैं, लेकिन अगर जहाँ पे बारी आती है, खुद की जगह पे अपनी क्या बोलते हैं कि वाइफ को उनको खड़ा करते हैं, लेकिन डिसीजन सारे वही लेते हैं, चाहे वो कोई भी पोजीशन हो. हमको पता है कि वुमेन रिजर्वेशन है, लेकिन उसका मतलब क्या है वो हम सबको पता है. तो दैट्स सेम गोज विद द गेम आल्सो, टू बी ऑनेस्ट. दिस इज द हार्श रियलिटी, and this is summed up the performance of the Gokulam Kerala's women's team.
Okay, felt like that was quite heartfelt from Hiren, and yeah, well,
It's
tomorrow
the
there is
truth.
also, yeah,
No,
yeah,
it's the truth. I
fair
think
enough.
Harsha Bhartan has a point. Look at, I think that's a very valid point that he's put out over there in the comments, which is a reality. When an Indian team goes and plays a continental competition, we are that far away from those. But when Gokulam
Exactly.
Kerala comes back to India, there are maybe 2-3 teams that can challenge them. Setu and Odisha FC at the moment looks likely, right? Other teams, they're thrashing with 7, 8, 12, 14, 16. So that difference and level of football,
Yeah,
is
yeah,
very
yeah.
difficult.
It's much bigger
I agree,
difference.
I agree, I agree.
गोकुलम
And
केरला इंडिया का टॉप वुमेन क्लब है.
by
लेकिन वो
far,
हाँ बाय फार. और उसका लेवल अगर आप जापान के कोई क्लब के साथ भी कंपेयर करोगे, तो दे विल नॉट कम इन आई थिंक सेकंड और थर्ड डिवीजन, सिंपल
वही
एज
तो है ना.
दैट. तो
I agree, I
दैट्स
agree.
द लेवल.
Yeah, yeah. I think there is a dearth of quality, of course, clearly on show today. There is also ISL action, guys, tomorrow. We spoke about this yesterday. Just a quick reminder that last ISL game before the international break, Punjab versus Hyderabad. So do watch that. Do watch the cup games. We'll be back to talk about these three matches tomorrow. There are three games to address, and then we can start looking ahead to India's World Cup qualification campaign, because it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun international break, I think, after a while, for me at least. Um, Thanks again, Arunava. Thanks, Hiren. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe to the stream whenever you're watching. Also, subscribe to all the channels: Sports Khabri, Curious Harry, Arun Foot, and Indian Food and Football. We'll be back tomorrow to discuss the three games that we already spoke about. Thanks.
Good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
Good night, everyone.